Hello, this is Rich B again, and in this video I'd like to talk to you all about a very serious problem that is currently happening at the moment, which is called overpopulation. In this case, global overpopulation. Now, as we all know, this has been going on for ages. I've created a video months ago talking about this issue, but I do wonder if anyone out there is actually taking this problem seriously. But is it a problem though? At the moment, in the year 2017, beginning of the 21st century, at this very time we've got over 7 billion people living on Earth, which is a lot of people if you think about it. 7 billion. But hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years ago, about 500,000 years ago, probably slightly more than that actually, the whole human race, and this may shock some people, especially people who are in fact racist, the racist lot, this will shock you, that the entire human race was in fact originally from Kenya. If I can find it on here, here we are. The entire human race originally, so many hundreds of thousands of years ago, originated from Kenya. And we know this because there's a fossil found, one of the oldest humans to be found as a mummified fossil was Lucy. Now, what happened before humans started in Kenya is still roughly a mystery. Some believe that it was just two people named Adam and Eve created the whole human race. Some people believe that in fact humans came from microorganisms from an asteroid that hit the Earth a long time ago. I personally believe that the whole human race might, in fact, was refugees from a faraway galaxy led by this thing, the famous Battlestar Galactica. But all joking aside, going back to the 21st century, is what do we do about the planet's overpopulation? How would you feed it? How would you look after the people? How would you house them? Well, in this video I'd like to talk more about how people have travelled, because originally we're all from Kenya and we've expanded, and in recent years, like the United States, which was established over 200 years ago, and 200 years later they became one of the most powerful nations on this earth today. And if you think about it, Australia's the same. So many people have colonized Australia, and Australia's done incredibly well, just like the USA here. So where do we go from here with colonizing? Now, this may divide opinion. Some people, including some of my friends, would believe in space colonization, living in giant space stations, a bit like the one in Halo, if you know the game, which is amazingly good. Some people also believe in living in Mars, Titan, Europa, and places like that. But if you think about it, you look at this map, and if you notice the entire world's oceans, what about them? If you think about it, all we're doing as man lives on the land so far, there's only what? A small fraction? And if you think of the oceans, there's like 75% of it is water. Now, I personally believe also with space colonization could be one, but I also believe in underwater sea colonies. If we can build underwater cities, such as in the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and notoriously the Pacific Ocean, would that actually help with overcrowding? And also, how would these underwater cities operate? Simple. The farming would be done by hydroponics. You can build underwater farms. There's loads of resources under the ocean floor as well, so mining shouldn't be a problem. But also, with man being man, how would you police it? How would you make sure the environment isn't destroyed? Now, I would ask for a international police force, or like an oceans police force. So you have underwater policemen making sure that all sea colonies are operating within reasonable standards of protecting the environment, protecting people, looking after fishes and so forth. Yeah, why not live under the water? I honestly believe that could work, as well as space colonization can also work. But another idea for a good short-term solution is vertical cities in places such as heavily populated cities, such as China's Chongqing, Hong Kong. Definitely Tokyo is in desperate need of a vertical city, and not to mention places like New York, Chicago, and any of those areas. So how would you solve the problem of planetary overpopulation? Because if you think about it, we've got 7 billion people, like I said, today, in the year 2017, we've got over 7 billion people, and by 2050, predictions are already saying there's going to be 10 billion people. If we don't solve this problem now, we'll end up in a very dystopian world. We'll end up in a world either similar to Hunger Games, which you will send children off, probably, to kill each other for sport, or, notoriously, my favourite sci-fi, or one of my favourite sci-fis, you end up in a situation like Soylent Green, making biscuits out of people to help feed the overpopulation. So how would you tackle this issue of overpopulation? Because if we just sit around doing nothing, or spending most of our time watching either the Kardashians, or failing that, donating money to things such as social welfare, yeah, the whole human race might end up being a very dystopian world, and could end up looking like the Hunger Games or Soylent Green. So I would urge anyone, and I don't mean just politicians, literally every Tom, Dick and Harry on the earth, every man, woman, child, to really think about it, of either space colonization, or certainly my favourite, underwater colonization. But what would you think? And I honestly think you need to make this decision now, and it has to be now. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry if it might be a bit preachy, but let me know with your comments, feedbacks, anything like that. You can come up with your own solutions of how to deal with the overpopulation problem. Anyway, take care. Hope you all enjoyed this video.